think it's time to just accept the fact that we are witnessing the last days of Dean Morris. We just need to enjoy him while we've still got him, because this might well be the last episode you see him in. Hello and welcome to part 13 of It's Coming Home. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games in the league. We're away against Ossett United and a massive top-of-the-table clash against Marske United. It would be a top-of-the-table clash if we hadn't have had the worst run of football, the worst run of form we've had, certainly this season. I don't know if we were ever this bad last season, but after all of the cup exploits, we then lost Dean Morris to international duty again and fell apart. He was away for these 3 games. We lost all 3 of them. It is terrifying about what might happen when he finally goes. Equally worrisome is that Harris and Powell have stopped scoring quite as regularly as they were before as well. And we actually ended up with a 5-game spell in all competitions where we didn't win a game. 4 of those in the league. All of which means rather than being challenging at the top of the league, we now find ourselves in 4th place, 27 points after 15 games. We are only 6 points behind Marske, who we play today. So we're not out of the title race, but oh my word, I don't want to have to do the playoffs again. It was horrible and bizarre last season. Powell is still the top scorer in the division. Harris is still joint second, so I can't really complain too much, but neither of them are scoring at a goal a game anymore, and that makes me very sad. But of course, I mentioned him in the intro. Where's Dean Harris? Let's find him. He's still wanted. We've turned down so many bids from Forest Green of £2,000. They just keep coming back and offering £2,000. But look at all these teams that want Dean Morris now. Look at the size of some of these teams. Villa, Derby, Huddersfield, Ipswich, Leeds, Middlesbrough, Norwich, Forest, Reading, the whole of Sheffield, Sunderland. And then there's Blackburn and Swansea with their minor interest. He's currently very well suited to League One football, so it's gone up again, and could improve a lot in the future. I genuinely think Dean Morris might play in the Premier League. He's played 4 times for England under-19s now. He might actually make it all the way to the Premier League. He's now also accomplished in central midfield, and now it's saying I should retrain him as a central defender. So you know what? We've just finished retraining him as a central midfielder. Let's retrain him as a centre-back as well, because you can't play too many positions, surely. But there you go. We can train him as a central defender. He's not going to be around, though, to ever learn to do that. But it's going to be sad when he finally goes. But what a player he is. And it's distracted some eyes away from some of our other players. Well, I've just noticed for the first time that Anthony Harris is wanted. Oxford have minor interest in Anthony Harris. Championship Oxford have minor interest in Anthony Harris. That's a bit of a worry. What's he currently? Currently well suited to Northern Premier League football, so the division above. So he's not anywhere near as special as Morris, but it's a little bit of a worry that there's someone got their eye on him. There have been a couple of transfers since the last time you were with me as well. If you've been following the Twitter, you'll have seen those. But I started to panic a little bit when we started to lose games. I thought for a minute I might want to play with wide players. So a non-League to Legend veteran, Jack Henchcliffe from last year's non-League to Legend, he's come in. He's a right mid. He's on a non-contract. It doesn't matter that we're never going to play him now. If we do ever decide to switch to wingers, we know he's a good one and capable of doing it at much higher levels as well. We also have a new goalkeeper, Harry Beasley, formerly of Wolves. He's not made his debut yet, but he's around if we need him. Mark Anthony Okoye is a centre-back, a good centre-back as well. We've actually got a proper... Dean Morris is already our second best centre-back and he doesn't know how to play there yet. That's how good he is. He's competent at centre-back, but would be our second best doing it, because he's just good at everything. It's ridiculous. If we have a look at let's look at midfield as well. So central midfield, of course, Dean Morris is our best central midfielder as well. He's just best at everything. But Okoye comes in and he's got a little bit of experience playing at this level and he's better than what we already had. And then lastly, and as a Peterborough fan, it pains me to bring this guy in because he was rubbish when he played for us. But Seth Nana Twamasi, I'm sure he had an Afori in his name when he played for Posh. Hold on. There you go, Seth Nana Afori Twamasi. But he's dropped the Afori, it seems. But he did play for Posh years ago and was terrible. He was then a cobbler, which, I mean, that was fair punishment for him. After being as bad as he was for us, I think sending him to Northampton for 3 years, he served his sentence, and that's why we were willing to bring him in. But he is much better at right back than what we already had. So Another one. I think we've upgraded the quality of our defence a bit there, and after all of the doom and gloom of the results we'd had previously, we did take that new look team and thumped Lincoln United 5-0 with another Dean Morris spectacular free kick. Because obviously he can do free kicks too, because he's Dean Morris and he can do everything. I still don't know why that's happening. It's so annoying, but this is the team that we're going to be playing for today's game against Ossett United. We've got Yates in goal, who needs to watch his back because we have the new boy, Beasley, ready to step in as soon as he makes a mistake. Oh, and by the way, Richie Brannigan's left. He didn't like the fact we signed it. You can't even see him on there. Ryan Ellison's left as well. And Richie Brannigan, we just released him because he wasn't happy that he wasn't going to be playing anymore. And I said to you, but Richie, if you recall, you're not very good. And he remembered and he's gone. So Richie Brannigan is no more. Why has that happened again? So we've got Yates in goal, a back four of McNally, Okoye, Beeston and Twomasi, with Morris in front of them for some protection. Parkin and Weeks in midfield and Sheridan in behind Harris and Powell. Let's get into the game while I turn my phone on mute so that it's happened again, so that I don't have to keep owing everybody a pound because it troubles me so much. Right. Why are you not on mute? You're supposed to be on mute while I'm working. There you go. Do not disturb. That will do the job. Right. Submit team. Twomasi is not match fit. He needs to sort himself out. He used to be a professional footballer. He can fight his way through a bit of not match fitness. What does that mean? I don't know what the star means. Surely that doesn't mean he's our star player because Dean Morris is in this team. So what does the star mean? I don't understand. Right, let's be assertive. Yes, let's avenge whatever happened last time against Ossett United. Considering how many games we've won in the last 12 months of football, it's bizarre how many teams we have to avenge ourselves against. I mean, I don't understand. Are we avenging... Oh, we only beat them 3-0. Let's avenge that. It's very odd. But perhaps... I mean, I imagine Ossett United did thump us last time we played them, and you lot will all tell me down in the comments how much better than us they were. Here's Dean Morris. He didn't score it. I'm so used to him just sticking them in the back of the net. I think he's our third top scorer now. 8 goals so far this season. I think here he is again, Morris. He's just... The goal must be a different size to the normal goals. He's just getting used to it. A couple of sighters early on. And now Weeks, as he's got a proper injury, a red injury, potential foot injury. We'll never see him play again. That's him done now. Shane Phillips can come into midfield. I mean, he's not very good at any of these roles. Perhaps if we swap them two over. It's box-to-box midfielder is where I see his future. So he can just play a match as a box-to-box midfielder and slowly get better at it. I say box-to-box midfielder is where I see his future. Obviously his future is playing as our holding midfielder when Dean Morris leaves, probably as soon as the transfer window opens. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope that he might sign a pre-contract with Rangers, which is going to be better for us this season. Because then we get to keep him for the rest of the season. Stephen Gerrard is here constantly. I think he's watched 4 of our matches now. Apparently Rangers don't ever play, so he can just come and watch us all the time. Weirdly, our attendances aren't up when he's here. I think in real life, if Stephen Gerrard is knocking about, stood at the side of the grass here at Homewood, or we're not at Homewood today, but over at Homewood, I think there'd probably be a few more locals turn up to have a look at him. Just go and get his autograph, get a selfie with him, but it doesn't work like that in game apparently. But that's the benefit of him going there, the fact he doesn't go until the end of the season. But then I do keep thinking with the Forest Green move, they're only offering us £2,000 for him up front, but they do offer a 40% sell on. And part of me is thinking, our reputation is so low, we're never going to get a big fee for him from anybody. So it actually might be more sensible, bearing in mind how good he is. Forest Green are in the National League. We've already seen he's already good enough to play in League One. So he'd only be at Forest Green 6 months, a year, before someone comes and offers more money for him. So it might be more about accepting the offer that has the best sell-on. Again, he's not scored. He's had three of these free kicks now and not scored any of them. I don't understand. But perhaps we need to let him go to someone who's going to have a 40 or 50% sell-on so that when they sell him for £500,000, we get our windfall then. But it's obviously riskier then, because he might break his leg as soon as he gets there. Right, we're going to be passionate. We are struggling to score goals at the moment. I don't know what's happened to us. I've mentioned it before. I still don't think Powell and Harris are a strike partnership that works. When either of them are in form, they score goals regardless. But I don't think they work well as a pairing. I think we need a James Hayter style player to play with them. Do we want to swap those two over? Is that how you want to be? No? Pal, what do you want to be? You can't be a full... You're not good at anything anymore, apparently. So he's doing a reverse Mick Powell at this point, and he's no longer a natural poacher. He's not a natural anything. He's just a striker, but can't play in any specific roles. That's handy. That's really handy. Right, Sheridan's also not playing well, so we've got Hildred who can come on and play in the hole behind the front two. But again, we've been very poor going forward in this game. It was the big marker of that run of games where we weren't winning. We were just a little bit toothless going forward. Then we went and scored 5 goals against Lincoln United. And I thought, it's fine, we're over that run now. And now here we are, struggling to score goals again. And I am pondering that change in tactic again. And maybe, I mean, it's a tough decision to make, deciding between Harris and Powell. But we did it with Phillips and Morris, and that seems to have turned out okay. Here's Powell, he's in, and it's straight at the keeper. But I am wondering whether we need to go with just one of them up front and have a winger either side of them and build the team around getting the best out of one of these strikers, because at the moment we're not getting the best out of either of them, and it is costing us because we're not scoring enough goals. He says as manager of the highest scoring team in the division. But we haven't looked like scoring today. So perhaps, or maybe we could, I guess we could, once Morris goes, I guess we could do a 4-4-2 with a flat midfield. Have Henchcliffe on one side. Weeks can go to left wing on the other side because he is a natural left midfielder who've been playing in central midfield. So we do have the players there to do a midfield for. So maybe that's what we do. But we can't really do that while Dean Morris is still here unless we play him out of position, which then we're not going to get as much money for him. It's very difficult. I'm not happy with that performance at all. I think I might actually do a 4-4-2 for the Marske United game, just to mix things up a little bit. It's been a long time since we've changed the tactic, and it's not working anymore. Slight problem with my tactical master plan to go to a 4-4-2 for this game. If we just have a little... I mean, it will become clear in a second. We haven't got a single player who can play on the left-hand side of midfield because Reece Weeks is injured. He would be the one. He's a natural left midfield player. He will be perfect, but of course he got injured in the last game. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. We are training a 4-4-2 now. Hold on. I tried to get it to work. We are training a 4-4-2 now, but we're not able to play it today. So we're going with this. It's the same team that played the last game, other than the fact Lynch has come in for the injured Weeks, and we've switched the roles around in midfield a little bit to suit those players a little more naturally. We have got Jack Henchcliffe on the bench, so if I decide to get fancy mid-game and go with just one winger, we have got one winger on the bench who can come on and do exactly that. We're huge underdogs, are we? Perhaps we shouldn't be coming here and attacking. Let's be passionate. We haven't done passion for a little while. We're the underdogs. I mean, we've been good at causing upsets all season. We had those cup runs in multiple competitions where we regularly played against teams better than us and upset the odds. We are capable of doing it. We have a better defence now as well. Yates, Tomasi and Okoye are much better than what we had in those positions when we were playing those games. Although Yates actually, I think, was in goal back then as well. But the other two are massive improvements. We should be capable of beating anybody in this division because we've shown we can beat teams from 1 and 2 divisions above us. But that was when we were in good form. And I said this at the time, that those first 15 games when we were on fire, I wish, less than half of them were in the league. I wish they'd all been league games. We'd be clear at the top of the league at this point. But of course, the form didn't last forever, and we're now knocking around in the playoffs again. We should at the very least get into the playoffs this season. But the form we've shown we're capable of, we should run away with this league. And we're not going to do it because we've stopped being able to play properly, and I don't know why. They're just knocking the ball around us here. This is mad. We're better than this. How can we not be? Why are we not any good at football anymore? It's so frustrating. But you never know. We might grab it. We might steal a win today and end up 2 points behind him, and I can stop whinging then. Right, parking. Big ball forward towards Powell. Powell and Harris are the two that we need to get their ideas together. Here is Anthony Harris. 2 bites of the cherry and doesn't score either of them. And Harris usually loves cherries. Right, Sheridan. Corner comes in. Okoye heads it back across goal, but there's no one in the middle to tap in the tap in. Where are my 2 superstar youngster strikers? Why have they... That's the big problem. They've fallen out of form. Remember those days where we'd get a couple of goals from each of them every game? They were lovely. They were lots of fun. They're not doing it anymore, are they? Yeah, let's calmly say unlucky. Oh, that didn't work. Right, hold on then. There's a lot more to come from you. No, that's made it worse. Oh, that's made it worse. Oh, God. Oh, no. Right, let's try and save it with a show some passion. Yeah, I ruined that. 15 seconds after my team talk finished, we've conceded a goal because I messed it up completely. I don't want to see your replay. Oh, remember when we were any good? Even asking him to show passion hasn't... Yates isn't even interested. He's not interested in my passion. He usually loves my passion. Right, we need a goal. What was that? And what was that? We were so good with this 11. And now we're not very good. I don't understand football. Our match cohesion and stuff. Our dynamics has all taken an absolute nosedive. And I don't know why. I don't see what I've done wrong. What has Lynch just done there? I don't understand. We've got to change the system up. We've got to do something different. But we've played this diamond for so long now. Have we just given away a penalty? No. We're so built around playing this way that we're not really capable of playing any other way now because we haven't been signing players to play in any other kind of system. I want to get Hinchcliffe on. Well, even here, that's messed up. Why is that messing up constantly? That is doing my head in. Right. Sheridan can sort of play on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is take off Lynch because he was rubbish with what he just did there. I don't even know what he was trying to do. Right, let's shuffle this midfield around a little bit. We're going to do that. And you can do that. So it just gets Hinchcliffe on the ball a little bit. We want crosses. Crosses are something we haven't really done. Ever. Let's see if we can do crosses now. We've got a proper winger at the club. So Hinchcliffe comes on to make his debut. Didn't expect that 10 minutes ago when I said, you'll never see him play. I didn't realise we'd go a whole episode not scoring a goal. Have we ever done that before? Right, who are we taking off? We're going to take off Powell and bring on Seth Patrick. Because we know Patrick and Harris work together as a partnership, which Powell and Harris just don't. And it's so frustrating because Powell is much better than Patrick as an individual. Powell and Harris don't work together. There you go. Seth Patrick's drawn a red card there. Come on, we've got to go for the jugular at this point. Get creative. Go for it. Right, here we go. What can we do as a last roll of the dice? I don't have anyone attacking to come on. There you go. There's your difference maker. Somebody do something, please. Demand more. Let's demand more. I don't know what else I can do. Why have we gone all the way out here? That's a different camera angle. It doesn't change the fact, though, we've lost yet again. And we've just got to stop losing football matches. We're going to fall out of the playoffs if we're not careful. And that would be a disaster. As much as a pain in the backside as the playoffs was, I don't mind going up that way. I want that out there now. I want the football manager gods to hear that. If the only way we can go up this season is via the playoffs, yes, please, we'll take that. We'll go up via the playoffs. We can't fail again and have a third season in this division because next year, no matter what happens, it's going to be a lot harder to get out of this division than it is this year because we won't have Morris or Phillips or Harris or Powell. We're going to have to do it without them. And that would be a disaster. Right, we're going to do another bunch of games before you're back with me. We don't want to draw this season out any longer than it has to be. So I think we're going to fly forward to somewhere around here, Cleethorpes, Mickleover, Eastbourne, that kind of area, and then probably just do 2 more episodes of the regular season, one around there, one at the end of the season, unless it turns into a title chase. But if this is really just gearing us up for playoffs again, let's get into the playoffs ASAP. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.